This is Eric Riker. I'm John Kilpatrick. We're with Okolona Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. Now, we're still talking about leading, and when you first start off with leading against ski or a direct stab, what we've recommended is that you just step to the side so that you're standing in a jiu-jitsu kind of stance or a kuda stance, and then in this way you can go to either side doing the same thing, and it's less confusing when you're first learning to do this. Just like with your hands, we have you putting your hands up here, and you need to do this for a while. Even though this leading is very simple, it is also difficult. And later on, you'll be able to put in parries and punches and all as you do with your leading and make it work, but I don't recommend trying to start off that way. Now, after you get where you can do these basic steps and make it work, then you need to start doing your Aikido stepping. And so your basic Aikido step that we used ad nauseum is where you just step in here. And that never seemed to make much sense to me without leading. But when you have leading, it makes perfect sense. So if he has the knife and he stabs, and it gets me back behind him, I can grab and do all kind of techniques. So that is one of the two basic steps that we're going to use. If we're going to the other side, then we're going to step over here first and then spin. And so that if you, a lot of times in your basic Aikido, the step that you have when you're going to the front side, you do from the guy grabbing your wrist. So he grabs my wrist here, and then I step with the back foot and turn him like this, and this is supposed to keep his other hand away and keep you safe. It may very well do that, but that is very difficult to lead from. And so what we're going to do, we want to be leading in everything that we do. We think leading is what Aikido is really about. So as he stabs here, and I turn here, and this gets me beside him. It's the same as what I did on the other side, but I'm coming to this side. Now, we can also do half steps instead of full steps for certain things. So as he stabs, I can come here. This rotation gets my body out of the way. Now, this rotation is extremely important, and taking bigger steps is extremely important. That is, if you just turn to here, it's kind of dangerous because you're not stepping far enough to give you a lot of acceleration at the beginning. And your partner is going to try to stick this thing into you. If we're going to the other side, he thrusts, and I can turn to here. And this gives me a good snappy twist of my hips. And if you're used to doing basic stuff from, this way, and you say, well, you're changing all of that, I tell you, let's do it with this hand. So we say you're changing all of that, well, how is this basic thing going to work? Well, it works really well. If I step here, and that lets me practice these techniques with a beautiful lead. And from that lead then, then I squatted and let him fall, but from that lead you can do any of your techniques with leading, even from the very static grip that is so much of basic practice.